It's been 5 years since LEGO last released an Imperial Lambda Class Shuttle, but at last we've been treated to a new version of the iconic ship, with this set actually being based off of its appearance in The Rescue from Season 2 of The Mandalorian. Ever since this set was revealed, I've been both extremely eager and excited to get my hands on it and see if it's worth the price that LEGO is asking for it. The build experience was enjoyable, albeit not the most challenging or intriguing. There is of course Technic featured across various sections of the shuttle's build, but I think it was all used quite efficiently, only being used where really needed whilst adding stability and structure to the set without really detracting from its overall appearance. The area where the wings connect to the ship's main body on the set actually looks remarkably accurate to the in-universe shuttle, with the slightly exposed Technic gears being the perfect choice here. The landing gear is built entirely out of Technic and it functions really well, helping to keep the set stable when not in flight mode, and it falls away really neatly when the shuttle is in flight mode. Near the landing gear you will also find the shuttle's ramp, which similarly can be deployed or hidden away discreetly. When the ramp is deployed, it's not actually able to fit a minifigure on it, but it does allow for some play value in that it helps to build a scene, and I'd rather have it included than not included at all. Unlike the ramp, the cockpit does offer some nice play options for a minifigure where the pilot can make use of the printed control panel to fly the shuttle. The cockpit's exterior is absolutely beautiful in my opinion, and it really does a great job of capturing the sleek profile of the in-universe shuttle. The general shaping here really is to be admired, and I love how well the cockpit area seals up, leaving no awkward or unsightly gaps. Moving on to the main body of the ship, I really like the way the turrets on either side of the cockpit are built, and the overall shaping of this section of the shuttle is excellent, with the rounded edges of the shuttle's main body replicated perfectly in brick-built form here. Heading around to the back of the shuttle, there is a smaller set of rear cannons and of course the beautiful blue sublight engines. The engines are definitely one of the highlights of the entire set for me, once again exemplifying the wonderful shaping to be found within this build, and to top it all off, the trans blue pieces used for the sublight engines are absolutely perfect. Arguably the most iconic element of the Lambda Class Shuttle's design is its long, elegant silhouette and shape made possible by its two wings and main fin. Both of the wings feel solid and secure, which is largely thanks to their partial Technic construction, and I think that they both look beautiful when in flight mode. The firing mechanism for the spring-loaded missiles is also quite subtly integrated into the build for the wings, which is nice to see. The undersides of the wings are a little unsightly with the exposed Technic going on, but I'm not sure what more could have realistically been done to cover them up at this scale. The center fin has been a hot topic of debate within the LEGO Star Wars community as to whether or not it is an appropriate height. Personally, I don't really have any issues with the height of the fin and how it looks on the set, but if it's something that does bother you a lot, you could always pretty easily modify it to make it as tall as you see fit. It is very sturdy in its construction, so much so that you can even pick up the shuttle by the fin and it won't just fall apart, although I wouldn't recommend doing this, especially if you're looking to play with this set and swoosh it around. Speaking of swooshing, this set allows for a lot of it, with the rear engine section being the perfect place to pick this set up and fly it around. The interior section in the main body of the shuttle is pretty seamlessly hidden away by these panels on either side, which open up to reveal some space where 4 minifigures can be seated, albeit it's a bit of a tight squeeze in there. Speaking of minifigures, 5 are included in this set. First up, we have yet another standard Stormtrooper. This is of course the same old clunky helmeted Stormtrooper minifigure that we've been getting for years at this point. This time around we get a female head underneath which features just the one facial expression. It's a fine inclusion, but at this stage I just have too many of these Stormtroopers. Next up we have another minifigure that is becoming quite common to see in the form of the Mandalorian himself, Din Djarin. This is undoubtedly a terrific minifigure, featuring some truly excellent print detailing. This version of Mando has come in quite a lot of sets recently, but nevertheless I'm glad to add yet another one of them to my collection. For the first time since the Imperial Light Cruiser set in 2021, we get another version of Moff Gideon in his pre-Dark Trooper outfit. This version of Gideon features some updates compared to the prior version, including new torso and head printing, as well as featuring a different skin tone, and he comes with the newer, vastly superior Darksaber. I really like the two face prints included, one getting across his rage-ridden side, whilst the other perfectly encapsulates his arrogant, smug nature that he so often exhibits throughout his appearances in The Mandalorian. I'm a big fan of his two-tone cape, and I'm just delighted to finally own a version of Gideon pre-Dark Trooper armour. The Imperial Shuttle Pilot is a new minifigure for this set, and just like Gideon and Mando, he's another great minifigure. He is of course based off of the pilot who took Dr. Pershing hostage at the start of The Rescue, whose name I have just learned is Mott. The printed chin strap and black helmet piece combine to do a really great job of replicating the headgear we see worn on screen by the shuttle pilots. He likewise does come with 2 face prints, with the angry and agitated look being my favourite out of the 2. While the legs lack any printing, the torso is full of it across both the front and back, and I particularly love the red radio that even has its cable running around to the back of the torso. The left arm features some really beautiful print detailing, and overall I'm absolutely delighted with how this figure turned out. Last but certainly not least, we have another exclusive minifigure in the form of Dr. Pershing. Every aspect of this minifigure is pretty spot on when compared to Dr. Pershing's on-screen appearance in The Rescue, and it's great to see his cloning patch be included here too. I like both of his face prints, especially the one where he's looking pretty scared, which allows you to recreate the opening of the episode pretty faithfully. I know I'm not the only one delighted by Pershing finally getting his own minifigure, as you can see from Omidab Tahi's latest Instagram post. Overall, I am mostly satisfied with the minifigure lineup that this set has to offer. I do believe that another minifigure should have been included given this set's price point, which we will get onto shortly, or at the very least I would have liked to see another character be included instead of another standard stormtrooper. I think Bo-Katan would have been a great inclusion here. But be sure to let me know your thoughts on the minifigures in this set and who else you would have liked to have seen included in the comment section below. So while I am mostly a fan of both the minifigure lineup and the shuttle itself, there's a couple of aspects to this set that I don't like so much. First of all, this set really should have come with a stand. It simply looks gorgeous in flight mode, but the fact that there's no stand of any sort included so that you can easily display it in flight mode is such a shame and a real disappointment for me. You will need to either build or buy a stand in order to display the shuttle in all its glory, and why LEGO couldn't have just included a stand like they did for the Quinjet that's on the market right now is beyond me. Another somewhat disappointing element of this set is the lack of space within its interiors. It's great that you can fit all 5 minifigures in the shuttle at one time, but the spaces for them do feel a little cramped. The interior space in the main body of the ship that we saw earlier does feel very cramped, and it doesn't offer anything beyond seating the minifigures. On top of that, it's pretty difficult to fit those minifigures in if you have larger adult sized fingers, but whether or not that's a problem will vary from person to person. As I mentioned earlier, the size and proportions of the fin and wings might be an issue for some people out there, and while it's not one for me, I did notice a pretty annoying issue with the fin while I was filming footage for this video. As you can see, the colour of the white pieces in the fin are not actually the same across the build, with this large wedge piece near the front of the fin looking completely different from pretty much all the other pieces. Admittedly, I didn't notice this until I put the set under my filming lights for this video, but now it's kind of impossible to unsee it. This huge variance in what is supposed to be the one uniform colour here is quite disappointing to me, and it's definitely some sort of quality control issue on LEGO's part. Finally, let's talk about that price. €150. That's a lot of money. For that price, you're getting 961 pieces, 5 minifigures, 4 of which I think are pretty great, a very swooshable, fun to fly playset, and a fine display piece, albeit one that is severely held back by the lack of any stand being included to display it in its true glory. So with all of that in mind, would I recommend buying this set at full price? No. While I do like this set quite a lot, I do think that its full price is asking a bit too much of LEGO fans. Had a stand been included to actually display the set in flight mode, then I think its price could have certainly felt a little more justified, but without it and taking into account the lack of play space you're getting with this one, I'm not seeing the value at full price. If you compare this to the Imperial Remnant AT-AT launching on August 1st for €160, I think that it's pretty hard to argue that this set can be priced at just €10 less than that one. For that extra €10, the AT-AT will have 492 more pieces, an extra minifigure plus a Grogu, a far larger set with more play space and options, and it will even have an extra deployable vehicle in the form of the INT-4 Interceptor. So with that in mind, I'd personally recommend waiting for the shuttle to go on a decent sale, be part of a double insiders points promotion, or pick it up if there's a GWP that you really want and this set will help you get over the necessary spending threshold for it. I think maybe €120 would have been just about acceptable for this set, but €150 is simply too much. So that's it for my thoughts on the 2026 Imperial Lambda Class Shuttle. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more from my channel, then please do leave the video a like and subscribe if you haven't already so you won't miss out on more LEGO Star Wars reviews just like this one. With all of that being said, I've been Dave and I hope that you have a great day.